Oh, finally. Oh, my goodness. Hey, hey, friends. Good morning. I am in the midst of switching over from Facebook to YouTube permanently. I am so flustered at this point. There we go. I swear, every Monday I go on there and I just fight and battle to try to get my lives going. And it's 2022 was just going to be avoiding stress altogether. So here we are on YouTube. Let me make sure my camera looks a little rounded there. I don't really know what that's about. So anyways, I posted quickly on there that I was switching over here to YouTube, and hopefully if anybody was already on Facebook looking, you have found me. If you are coming back to Boho Stamper, yay, welcome back, glad to have you. If you're new to Boho Stamper, welcome, and I hope that I can inspire you and show you something new. Let me take a swig here. See if we can do this morning without losing my voice, because I always do. So Mondays, I like to share my Stampin' Up! Products and a project using them. And this is the start of our new mini catalog for June. This is also, in January and February, celebration. So for every $50 or $100 worth of products that you purchase, you qualify to earn free stamp sets or paper or any of the other items that are in the celebration catalog for free. Can't beat free, right? In addition to that, the reason we're using, well, really, I have 100 things to tell you. And see, Facebook always makes me get flustered. So in addition to that, I always send my customers a thank you when they order through my Stampin' Up! Online store. And so for this month, when you use my shopping code, and I love that art is in the middle of my shopping code there. These are system generated codes. I didn't make that up, so that was kind of exciting. When you order $50 in product, I will send you a package of the classic matte dots that come in black, gray, vanilla, white. Yes, not blay. They come in black, gray, vanilla, white. And these, I've already gone through a half a packet of these so far because I really like the colors. And I like matte dots anyways. I love using these. So this is my thank you for a $50 order this month. And with a $100 order, in addition to the matte dots, you're going to get a Wink of Stella pen. And if you don't know what Wink of Stella is, you get a scrap paper. And these are my measurements for today. Wink of Stella is a little brush that has glitter glue in it. I don't know if you can see the little glittery. Maybe if I put the light on that. Oh, that just made it ugly, didn't it? Yeah, well, there's glitter on there. I just can't show it on the camera. No way. But it's there. It makes a really nice little shimmery sparkle. So anyways, you'll get that and matte dots for a $100 order. And that's just my thank you to you for shopping with me and supporting me in my card making. So I'm going to use Flowering Rain Boots today, and this isn't the original set that I had picked out for today, but I was working on my design team card, and this was what I had chosen to use for that. And I can't show you that because you're not on my team, but you could be on my team. You could be on my team if you join Stampin' Up! And when you join Stampin' Up!, that doesn't mean that you have to do videos or go out and have parties or workshops or anything. You can, obviously you can, because the whole idea about crafting and making cards is making friends and building a relationship with other crafters. It's a fun thing to do. You earn discounts. Your startup kit is only $99, and you get to select $125 worth of product for that $99. And during celebration, actually, I joined during celebration 2 years ago. I think it's been 2 years now. Because with all of that stuff that I was getting, I got to add free items from the celebration catalog. And if you join during celebration, you get to pick 2 more stamp sets to add to your startup kit for free again. So, and that could be out of the mini catalog or the annual catalog, I believe. I don't think you're limited to one or the other. So that's how you get to join Stampin' Up. Just email me at diane@bohostamper.com and I can get you started on that, and then I'll be able to show you my design team card using flowering rain boots. So for today, we're going to use flowering rain boots and make a different card. And the reason that I love this set, years ago we had a paper pumpkin kit. And I always save them my little paper pumpkin leftover pieces and stamp sets and stuff. And I don't even remember what year this was. Was it last year? I don't know. But this was the little pamphlet in there that showed us, you know, some of the cards that you could make with it. And I think everyone loved it. And they were like, oh, this should just be a set all the time. And these were the rain boots. I don't know if you can see. Oh, here, let's use my tag template. There. These were the rain boots that were in that set. And there were some little lavender pieces. But in a paper pumpkin kit, you get, well, sometimes you get big stamp sets. I shouldn't say that. But this was the stamp set for that month. And then there was a 2-step stamp where you could fill in the rain boots with these little flower patterns. So anyways, I just wanted to pull that out because I remembered that there were little flowers in there, and I thought maybe I might add those to one of my sets. I think these are much smaller boots, though, than what we have today. We'll see. But I do keep my little stamp sets, and I was real excited to have rain boots again. The stamp set comes with a coordinating die. And the dies are called rain boot dies. That's pretty good. It was named well. So we have a die for the watering can, the stems, which to me I think that die looks like French fries. We have a die to cut out the tulips, the daisies, the boots, the little seed packet, in the pot. And then we have a little border die, and I played with that, and this is the beautiful little border that creates. Isn't that great? And in addition, it also pops out all the little squares from the middle of that border, so you have all these little cubey squares. I'm pretty sure I can think of something to do with them in time, not today. And a little trowel, so you have a couple extra dies in the pack. And let's see, today I'm going to use some of the paper from the celebration catalog that I got for free, and we're going to make one of these. And I cut out some different papers because that was my biggest problem yesterday when I was doing this, was setting up the different pattern papers here in the background, laying them out so that I had a nice oh my goodness, I just forgot the word I was going to say. Oh well. Anyways, I wanted them to coordinate. So, let's get this stuff out of the way. And I am not going to let Facebook ruin my day. I'll tell ya. just not going to do it. So my paper, oh my goodness, where'd it go? I know it's here. I'm using Pale Papaya and Flirty Flamingo. Not necessarily colors that you would have thought to put together. Oh, here's my paper. But I like pink and orange together. I used that a lot last year over Valentine's Day. Did a lot of pink and orange cards. I don't know why. Just kind of, they were brighter than what I'm using today. So Daffodil Afternoon. Was this a designer, or was this a celebration? Getting all my words mixed up here. Uses Basic Black, Crushed Curry, Daffodil Delight, Evening Evergreen, Flirty Flamingo, Mint Macaron, Mossy Meadow, Pale Papaya, Pear Pizzazz, and Very Vanilla. Wonderful patterns in here. And like I said, here's one of the sheets. This is a half of a 12 by 12 that you can very easily trim down and make this for the front of one of your cards. You don't even have to do a whole lot. Add a little greeting on there, and look at that. You know, a minute. I don't have the Daffodil stamp set. I am planning on getting that. I just had to limit myself on my pre-order a little bit. Really pretty colorful paper. That's one of the ones that I did cut out. Some greens. And anyways, I tried to use some of the reverse sides to create my little layering panels that we're going to make. So pick out a couple different designs of pattern paper that you like. And where did I put my dimensions? Did I put my little Wingastella on? So we will need a half of a sheet of cardstock for your base. So these are 8.5 by 11. We're going to cut one in half at 5.5. And then score it in the center so that we end up with a 4.25 by a half. Oh my, I really can't talk. 5.5 inch card base. And then take a piece of your designer paper. There's one of those little squares. And if you're using Stampin' Up paper, it's normally two-sided, so you get to pick. See, I used the check side on this one, but for demo today, we're going to use the flowery side. And this is cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 because I like to have just a teeny tiny 1/8 of an inch border around my print. And my little rectangles, other than the white piece that we're going to stamp on, my little rectangles are cut at 2 3/4 by 4. And this is what took me some time yesterday to try to figure out because I started with like a 3 by 3 square and really wasn't liking the way that looked on the front of my card. And so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to glue these two pieces that are 2 3/4 by 4, just a small offset from each other. I'm not trying to make either one of them straight up and down on my card because I have another piece here that I'm going to put behind my stamped image. Oh, is that light still glaring? Let's see. Not too bad, I guess. Okay, so let's do this first. And I am also going to layer this flat onto my card base, so we can do that as well. Got to kind of decide if you're going to add ribbon or dimension when you want to add your first layer, because if I was going to add ribbon around something, I might not want to glue this down in my first step. Does that make sense? And I used some Stampin' Seal Plus and just centered that onto my card base. Now I can take those two pieces that I want to put on my card, and it doesn't take a lot of this adhesive. This is some pretty pretty strong stuff. Kind of line this up. Again, I'm just going to offset a little bit. Trying to keep a little bit of the Flirty Flamingo sort of even in the background there. Okay. And then I'm going to hold off on this one until I get my image stamped. So I'm going to stamp my rain boots. I have tried stamping these boots in Memento ink, and then I was going to fill this in with Stampin' Blends, but I thought it looked a little bit too dark on the card. So, as in my original, I just went with my coordinating ink colors to stamp the boots, and that's what we're going to do today. Flirty Flamingo. Oh, speaking of coordinating colors, I wanted to mention too that Stampin' Up! Has come out with, and will be available, I believe it's February 1st for customer purchase. Demonstrators can pre-order, another perk to joining the Stampin' Up! Team, and it's called Tones Stampin' Blends. So these tones are, there will be 10 neutral tones of Stampin' Blends to use when you're coloring in flush tones. You can use them for other things too, but what's the name of that stamp set that we used not too long ago? It's one of the newer ones. The girl cuddled up on the blanket with her doggy. If I can find it while I just hold this in place for a second. You know, you don't have to hold it that long. I'm just doing that while I'm looking through my stamp. Where are you, little girl? Right there. This one, In the Moment. So the new Tones blends would be great for coloring in her skin in any of these pictures. And as I said, you can use them on any stamp. You don't have to limit them to skin. It just is giving you some opportunity that we didn't have before. Alright, now here's another little trick. You don't have to do this. These stamps are beautiful just like they are. But if you want to add a little bit of maybe dimension to the rain boots, you can use a blender pen. And this blender pens actually were one of my free gifts that I gave, my thank you gifts. Was that December or November? So if you happen to have gotten a blender pen, here's a chance to use that. And this kind of reminds me, I'm going to share my age here a little bit, I guess. Remember when we used to be able to get those little booklets? And they had pictures on them with the little dots. And if you used a wet Q-tip and you went over the little dots, you were painting. You know, they were little paint dots. And that's kind of what this reminds me of, because when you go over these with the blender pen, it just fades that ink out from those dots a little bit and makes a little bit more depth in your image. Again, not something that you have to do. The image is beautiful just like it is, but something that you can do to your card just a little extra if you like. Okay. So, oops, I wipe that off. And can you see how it just kind of blended the stamped image a little bit so that it looks more highlighted. Alright, now we can, let's do our flowers next. I need to put my card out here so I can see what I'm doing. I did already do some of the die cuts, so you didn't have to sit there and be bored to death while I stamped and die cut these. So I stamped the stems in Pear Pizzazz, and here again, you can use the blender pen and go over some of this if you want to make the leaves a little bit greener and less white. And not a step that you have to do, but a step that I did do in a different card. I used a utility, one of my little craft knives, and I cut a slit in the boots, and I slid these in there so that they looked like they were actually coming out of the boot. So we can do that. And all I did was make a slit across each one. Oops. I think I had to trim the end a little bit on the stems. Good. Cut a little bit of this corner off. So I could get these tucked down in there. I don't know, I just thought it looked cute, like they were really coming out of the boots. One, and two. And then to hold those in place, I just put a little piece of tear tape on the back of it. That's also going to help when I go to stick it down on my mat. Okay, then I cut tulips out of pale papaya. I did them with Flirty Flamingo. And I did some of the daisies. I did the daisies in, one of the colors in the paper is crushed curry. So I did those in crushed curry, and then I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to add another color to my, I might. We're going to see in just a minute. So I also stamped some and cut them out of pale papaya. So let's see which color, which flowers even. What do you use on here? There, a little mat. Rain boots. Now, that's all right. It's a little pale. I don't know that it shows up very well. Let me try the Flirty Flamingo tulips. That looks kind of pretty. These are the crushed curry daisies. Actually, that doesn't look half bad. And these were the pale papaya daisies. The pale papaya, I think, is just a little too pale on this one. I wanted to show you, too. I did this by accident. I was going to cut out 2 rows of the Flirty Flamingo tulips, but I had stamped them too close together. And then when I looked at it, I was thinking, oh, that'd be a cute little border around a card, wouldn't it? So I'm just going to save this with my stamp set as a reminder that I could do that and make, that might come in handy for Easter, you know? Just make a little border around something. Okay, back to the flowers. Oh no, what flowers do I want? I kind of like the crushed curry, even though I wasn't going to add another color. Okay, so then I need, I need a piece of scrap basic white to do my greeting on. And, oh, I didn't like basic white. I did originally make I thought that it didn't stand out as well on the white stamped image. I'll be darned if I can find it. I was sitting here this morning. Let's see. I always think that I'm prepared for you. Oh, there it is. I was prepared. Anyways, I stamped it and I die cut it on white, but I was afraid it didn't stand out against that white background enough. And so on my original one, then I went back and I stamped my grading on color cardstock. And I think it does show up better. But I also like the Flirty Flamingo because it matches the boots. But that could just be because of the way this paper is. You could no, it's not going to be that one. But I do have some crushed curry here. Oh, that might work. It might just show up the daisies a little bit up there on the top, huh? Because there is enough of the daffodil showing on the pattern piece. Let's just give that a go and see how it looks. Crushed curry. I'm hoping tone on tone will show up well enough. It's just paper, right? If it doesn't, I'll do something different. I do like that little saying too, rain or shine, I'm here for you. I will say too, when you go to do your rain boots, that it does work better on the large block. This is E. This is an E acrylic block because these are rather big. It might fit on a D, but it's going to be close. Yeah, you can make it work on a D. I just was more comfortable for myself doing it on the larger block to make sure that I got it all stamped. Okay. And I am going to stamp this in the middle of this scrap paper because I'm going to die cut it. So I'm going to make sure I have enough room around the font for the die. Oh, that's not very dark at all. No. Okay, so that didn't work. Let's just do then my memento. I'll try Tuxedo Black Memento ink on here. I mean, I know it's going to stand out much better. Oh, I got my paper wet from my hands. I have another one here, so we don't have to wait. I do. I guess I have enough room that way for my die. That's nicer. Yeah. Do my little stamp off. And I use the Tasteful label dies. And I just cut this little one out on here. Yeah, I do have to put an order in this week. I had tape on my finger there and I missed it. I need to order a new, oh, what's she barking at? a new plate for my mini cut and emboss. It does still work, but I'm not sure that it's given me a clean cut the whole way. See, I cracked this. I don't know if I did it. I had taken this one with me to a workshop, and I don't know if it cracked because it was cold outside, or if we just got a little too rambunctious cutting. But I never had one of these crack before. So I need to order that just to make sure I'm getting clean cuts. And I thought maybe I'd get my tulip stamp set to go with my paper this week. Oh no, I smeared inky, I think. Really? Are you kidding? Where'd that come from? Got it. Oh, thank you. This is just a little sand eraser from, I got mine on Amazon. But it's Tombow, which you may recognize from our liquid glue. And it does work for little spots like that, so that we didn't have to make a new label. Good going. Okay, let's add these daisies. I found it easiest to add just a little touch of glue on the top of each stem. And then add my flowers. Now we can add our rain boots to the mat behind it. What's on the other side of this one? Oh, that's a little too dark, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I think I like the other paler color behind it better. Okay, let's put these down. And this is going on a tilt. Making sure that each corner of the rectangle is on my card. And I did keep it a little bit more towards the top than the bottom, because I'm going to put my greeting down there. Now we can add our rain boots to the Designer Series paper. Oh, I forgot there was a glue strip on there. Take that off and it will help it stick. Get this centered on the paper. And then to give my, I gotta get this on here first. And my little daisies just a little bit of dimension, since they're kind of popping up anyway. I used a mini dimensional. And added it to the back of the daisy. Well, in the other case, to the back of my tulip. See, I just stuck this behind my tulip. Oh, I didn't take the release paper off of that. I was going to say, why is that not sticking? There. Now it'll stick. And then it gives my flower a little bit more support. So let's do that on this. Add to the back of our little daisy. And I will pop this up, and we have a way to blend this yellow in with the pink and the papaya as well. You know what, I'm going to put my die away before I lose it. I don't like leaving them sit out, and then all of a sudden, instead of having 11 dies, I have 10. You know, things like that. Because it happens. Besides that, it gets a little bit too hard to work when you have too many things laying around. Alright, so let's add some dimensionals on the back of this, and we want to be careful where we're adding those dimensionals because this is already layered up with the paper, so I kind of want to keep my dimensionals to the side on the left and on the bottom here. And we can add a little bit of Stampin' Seal Plus if it's not going to rip my paper. If you're going to rip my paper, I'm not going to use you. And it's going to rip my paper. Oh, creepy tape. Alright, I'll just add a little bit of glue. And this is just going to make sure that my greeting stays adhered to the front panel of our stamped image there. So let me refresh you on the measurements here while I'm sticking down my label. We had our 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card base, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 of an inch designer series paper panel in the back. That was our first layer. We have 1, 2, 3 rectangles that are 2 3/4 inches by 4. And then our white panel that we stamped on was 2 1/2 by 3 3/4. And now that I know I'm going to continue using YouTube, I'll start, what I used to do for my 15-minute cards on a Friday, I used to put up a dimension sheet there with all the paper dimensions at the beginning. And I think I can do that now that I know I'm just going to stick with YouTube. So I had some Genial Gems, and really this is, oh, did I look this up? I thought I looked these color, oh, that was the other one. I had the hexagons, and these are Basic Black, Blushing Bride, and Just Jade, because the Blushing Bride almost worked. But Genial Gems, I think, will work, because I think these are Pale Papaya. Let's just check and make sure. I think it's going to blend in that, bring all that orange together, a little bit on the flowers. I do hear a truck going out. Oh, there must be a UPS truck someplace, and Sissy just doesn't like that UPS truck. That's what she barked about. I think it's just a little too, oh, there. Genial Gems. Genial Gems are Pale Papaya and Mint Macaron. Perfect! I'm going to write that on the back of this as soon as I find a pen. And that comes in handy when I am trying to coordinate my colors. Pale Papaya and Mint. Because I don't always have the book handy if I'm making a card. And then just like this, I'm thinking, what color is that? Is that supposed to match it? I mean, sometimes they match anyways, even though it's not the same color, but and there you go. Rain or shine, I'm here for you. Isn't it a cute set? I love those rain boots. And the flowers, you know, you can add as many flowers as you like. Add some trim if you want to. I'm going to keep playing with this set for sure. We'll do another one of these days with the same set. I do want to put this in my stamp set so that I remember this is an option. And if you want to see the design team card that I did with this, you just email me about joining my team, and I'll be able to share that with you. So goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Remember, I'm back here Wednesday at 10 for my journaling journey. And then Friday, we are just doing paper crafting fun on a Friday. So we'll see you then. Everybody have a great week. Thanks. Bye.